Do you hate YouTube ads? Because I do. YouTube also recently jacked up the price of YouTube Premium to almost $20 a month. But I have good news. All of my videos are now available ad-free and a day early to my Patreon supporters. For $5 a month, you get early access ad-free. I upload 25 to 30 videos a month, so you're getting a really good deal. Enjoy the video.
According to Einstein, who was one of the smartest humans ever, he proved that the universe cannot create itself out of nothingness. So my million-dollar question:
Why would you say that?
I'm not finished.
Why
Because
would you say
science knows
something
that it
like
cannot
that?
create itself
He
out of
has
nothing.
never said that.
Science says it.
Nor is that.
Can you
Nor
prove
is
to
the
me the
idea of that
universe
in
created
contention with the
itself out
Big
of
Bang.
nothingness?
Why would you say that?
Because
I
the universe
promise
needs a
that you
cause.
cannot name three
Why are you
physicists.
triggered for, bro? Why are you emotional?
Because when people say stupid shit like that, it really
How's it
irritates
stupid?
me.
I'm talking
because
science.
you think that you have figured this out,
No,
and you
I'm just
know
using
nothing.
science against you.
Only a complete ignoramus would
Look,
say
I can
something
use science
like
against
that.
you, my brother.
Albert Einstein
the people in
never
the comments
said
are
what
saying
you
you're a
said.
waste of time.
None of his work is even modeled to do that. And the Big Bang also does not say that nothing came, or that everything came from nothing. There's not a single thing you said that's relevant or part of the argument or anything.
So the universe, the Big Bang says that two atoms collided at supersonic speeds.
Why would you say something like that? Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now? Two atoms collided at supersonic speed.
No, because you're very close-minded. Yes, that's what the Big Bang is.
Josh, you fucking idiot. That's not the Big Bang.
Well,
that's never been the Big Bang. Nobody has ever said that except people like you. People who don't know anything. You know less than zero, because the things you're pretty sure you know aren't true. You know negative things about the Big Bang. You have negative knowledge.
Why are you cursing? It says a lot about you.
No, Josh,
no, I do.
You came up here and started bloviating about a bunch of nonsense. You started with a non sequitur. Then you said three things that aren't true. Then you said another thing that isn't true.
The universe created itself out of nothingness?
Nobody has
salvation.
Okay, the only people in the universe who have ever said that the universe was created out of nothing are people named Josh. People like you. No scientist has ever said that the universe was created from nothing. You think you've got it all figured out, and you're saying things that are completely untrue. That's awful.
No, it's not awful. I'm going to break it down in layman's terms.
What is you lying or not knowing you're lying, but saying things that are false? What is it?
Okay.
What is you saying false things? I think it's awful.
I want to break it down for you. No, 1 second.
No, you don't have the ability to break it down because you don't even have a fundamental understanding.
Okay, so the first true claim I made was even science doesn't know how this came to be. Okay,
studies. No, the first claim you made, you asked me if I'm familiar with Einstein, and you said Einstein proved that the universe can't create itself. None of Einstein's works have anything to do with that.
Yes,
and then you said that the Big Bang was when two atoms hit each other at supersonic speed. That's never been part of the Big Bang. Why are you talking? So you've said nothing but false claims. Why are you doing this?
Okay, can I respond? According to Einstein's
what you can respond to is one of the false claims you made, and tell me why you said it.
Okay,
either that or I'm going to get rid of you, because I already don't care. So why did you say that? We'll pick the Big Bang. Why did you say the Big Bang is when two atoms collided at supersonic speed?
Let me focus on the first one, okay? So according to Einstein, his teachings were on the law of causality. So everything came to be needs a cause. You know this. Science doesn't know what that cause was.
None of Einstein's work is even remotely similar.
Yes, it is. You can search it up now. You can pause the screen. You can go on Google and you can look it up.
Which one of his works? The photoelectric effect?
The law of causality. That was the works. The law of causality. So what that leads us to be is that everything that comes to be, it needs a cause.
This isn't Einstein's work.
So yeah, the evolution stuff, I'm not sold on.
Why is that?
For a couple of reasons. The first would be like, how does everything come from nothing?
That's not evolution, and I've never claimed that, and I don't know of any scientists that claim that either.
Like, what science? What's proof of the Big Bang? Like again, like
The
how
fact
did
that we live
everything
in an
come from
expanding
nothing?
universe, the cosmic microwave background radiation, the distribution of matter in our universe, certain cosmological observations.
You don't need
Well,
to
I guess okay.
disprove
I
them.
guess a better point might be none of the things you mentioned like prove the Big Bang over
It doesn't make
creationism.
any sense. First
There's
of all,
no evidence of creation. We have
Yeah,
enormous amounts of evidence of a Big Bang.
but everything you're saying that came from the Big Bang, you could also state came from God.
You could,
no.
but which one has evidence?
Well, I think again, I don't think the evidence you state of the Big Bang actually proves the Big Bang. Well, then tell me how redshifting proves that the Big Bang happened as opposed to God creating everything.
You're not asking us to justify Redshift proving that everything came from nothing, are you? Because that's not the Big Bang.
Well, he's using it as a defense, so I'm asking how does that help his case?
Yeah, it's because what it is, it provides evidence that the universe is expanding, which
Yeah,
means it's moving away from a central point.
sure.
And the redshift is showing that expansion. It basically means that the farther away the galaxies are, the faster they're moving. And that's what the redshift data is providing. And so
Yeah, but
when
that doesn't prove that everything came from nothing. It just proves the
the Big Bang
universe is
statement,
That's
moving.
everything came from
exactly
nothing.
what I was talking about just 2 seconds ago. That's not the Big Bang. I told you that already. None of us, see, Sarai, neither of us believe that everything came from nothing. I'm pretty sure you do, but we don't. So that's not
But
that's not a
if I'm
position that we hold.
yeah, but unless I'm wrong, because I said that it does, none of this evidence proves the Big Bang happened, and then
So
Cicero
again,
Because
used
you're asking,
redshifting as his
first of all,
defense.
you're asking for proof of something that we never claimed. So it's a complete non sequitur.
that the Big Bang is stating that the universe comes from nothing. You said there's no evidence for the Big Bang. I asked you what redshifting is. I explained to you just now what redshift is, and you
Yeah,
changed
but
nothing about your perspective.
because
You're being dishonest.
that didn't give it evidence to nothing, everything coming from nothing. That just gave
Why do you
evidence that the
keep
universe is
saying
expanding.
everything coming from nothing?
It does
That
prove
is
Because that's
evidence.
not what either of us believe in. None of
Bishop,
us, I
well,
do not hold that belief. There isn't a single thing about anything I ever argue about or believe in that is correlated to the idea of everything coming from nothing. So when you demand that I give you evidence of that, you're demanding that I tell you something to justify a belief I don't even have. Okay?
and
This would be
okay.
the equivalent of me asking you, tell me where in the Bible the tooth fairy exists.
If there was a Big Bang Theory, where did the explosion come from? Okay, so if something explodes,
It wasn't an explosion.
let's say
It's
let's
not an
say
explosion.
clockwise.
You're already
Okay.
wrong. It's not an explosion, and there's no such thing as a clockwise explosion either.
Okay, but an explosion blows one way.
Yep. So the Big Bang is not an explosion. So this analogy is going to be really unuseful.
How's the Big Bang? It's called the Big Bang.
Yep. Now it's basically a pejorative term that Fred Hoyle coined because he didn't like the idea of it. But Fred Hoyle was proven wrong.
So if whatever that explanation is, everything's spinning in the same direction from an explosion. That's science.
The universe is not spinning. I don't know what to tell you. And the universe, like things in the universe also don't spin in the same direction. I mean, one of Neptune's moons, Triton, orbits it
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
opposite direction. What do
That
you mean exactly?
disproves the Big Bang.
No, it doesn't. Sid,
Yes, it does, sir.
Sid, can you tell me what the Big Bang is?
No one can because it's a
No,
fake.
scientists can because they came up with it. It's a scientific theory. That's like you claim that nobody knows what water is. What is the Big Bang?
Nobody knows. That's my point. Can't be proven. Yeah, you and your.
The only thing I've heard you say about it is clockwise explosion, which is like really dumb.
That's what your scientist said.
Name one. Name one scientist that said the Big Bang is a clockwise explosion.
Well, let's go to language. You're a smart guy.
No, see, what you said is that's what your scientists say. So give us a scientist who said this.
Why are ancient languages
All right, so you're
more
0 for 2.
complex? Yeah. Why are ancient languages more complex than current languages?
The Big Bang, which in and of itself is an act of faith, because there's no proof.
Nope,
whatsoever.
nothing but proof. Tons of it.
What, like what?
What would the proof be?
So you're saying that two atoms collided.
Nope, nobody's ever said that that's the Big Bang.
That's exactly what the definition of Big Bang is that two atoms collided and the fucking universe sprung out of nothing.
You got a computer in front of you?
No. I'm sitting in my garage drinking a beer.
Read that and tell me tell me when you get to the part about two atoms colliding.
The Big Bang event was a physical theory that describes how the universe expanded from an initial state in high density and temperature. Various cosmological models of the Big Bang explain the evolution of an observable universe in personally known periods. Those are subsequent large-scale models of comprehensive explanation of the broad range of observed phenomena, including the abundance of light element, the cosmic microwave background radiation, and that's the flatness problem, is explained through cosmic inflation, and a very rapid expansion of space during the earliest moments of physical life. Finally accepted the theory of quantum gravity that can successfully model the earliest combination of Big Bang. I'm at the second paragraph. Crucially,
Gert, you're not gonna find it, Gert.
Why don't you just read
in there? Because once again, you said something that was completely untrue because you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I'm not looking up biased facts on the internet.
Biased facts, huh?
Okay, so now go and look up dinosaurs aren't real on the internet, and you will come across a slew of evidence that says they're not real.
You know, the Big Bang Theory's been heavily propagated for, quite a long time, at least as long as I've been alive. Now, fundamentally, this is going to dial all the way back to Einstein and Bohr. You're familiar with Einstein and Bohr, hopefully the hydrogen model and relativistic theory, understanding how far the distance of a star is, right? Because it's changed a little bit in the last 10 or 12 years. It used to be about 12 million. Now they think it's about, or at 12 billion. Now they think it's about 16 billion light years.
No, it's way more than that.
16 billion light years? No, that's what's heavily considered about the furthest distance, right? And if you study Hawking or Green, that's about the number you're going to come up.
The universe is like 43 billion light years.
I'm just going to say no, it's not. And that's, I got to tell you, man, numerical data is intimately flawed in and of itself. And this is where, if you study Professor Green in quantum physics, he's a big time quantum physicist. Now he explains 11-dimensional theory, which is, and let me just break this down for you. I don't know that
it's string theory. It's all completely theoretical. There are
so I'm going to break something down.
Verify it. If a planet's, let's say a star is 10 billion light years away. Well, it takes 10 billion light years for that light to reach us. It takes way longer than that.
Not in a vacuum. Light travels at the speed of light.
Because the universe is expanding. That's why the observable universe is 46 billion light years in radius.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree that the universe is expanding right now. And don't worry about that. Just stay on track with one concept.
Me evidence.
Stay on this concept with 1 second, just please. Listen, if you use numerical data to talk about the distance between you and I, let's say we're 1 meter apart, which I don't know how far apart we are. Let's say we're 1 meter apart. You're going to say we're 1 and then a meter, a number and a unit, right? Divide 1 in half. You get 1/2. Then you get 1/4. Then you get 1/8. Then you get 1/16, 1/32, 1/64, 1/128, 1/256. You see where I'm going with this? You can infinitely divide numerical data. You can infinitely divide numerical data in half on paper.
Multiply it also.
Yes, that's not the point. Nothing can insert itself into the physical space that is occupied by a hydrogen molecule.
I cannot believe you just said that.
Dude,
you know that we have working fusion reactors here on Earth?
Yes. Do you know what fusion is?
Fusion reaction works?
Yes, I actually do, dude. I actually
Tell the
do.
audience how a fusion reaction works.
So fusion is going to use heat as temperature, all right, and it's going to use physics compression and slam two things into each other, two hydrogen molecules particularly, as hard as possible, and they're going to fuse into helium, and that's going to release energy.
And so what you do is you take the nuclei of two atoms and you combine them into the nuclei that was the same space.
Fusion, and then you create a new molecule. You're not inserting anything into something else's space.
What? Yeah,
You're not inserting. No, you're not, dude. No, you're really not. You can fuse two hydrogen into a helium molecule. The point that I'm trying to make, man, is that you cannot use the weak arguments for the Big Bang and just say it happened. The Big Bang, what's the word after that? The Big Bang theory.
What's weak about the fact that the CMB radiation was within 1/10,000th of a degree Kelvin to what it was predicted to be, and that the blackbody curve was the most perfect blackbody curve that we'd ever detected, consistent with the prediction of the theory?
So you're familiar? So how much do you know about blackbody radiation and Hawking radiation? Because
Those
Hawking
are not
is
at all the same thing.
What I'm saying is you can't, once you get into this theoretical model, saying something like the Big Bang happened and failing to just say that this is theoretical, saying that evolution is true. First and foremost, evolution, if you want to go into biology, that's where all my degrees are.
I'm muting you because you've changed the subject 3 times in one sentence. So we're going to go back to what we were talking about. You said, well, you can't use weak observational data or whatever for the Big Bang. And my question to you was, what's weak about the fact that the predictions were extremely precise?
I went to the 23rd ranked chemistry institution and got a degree in this world.
Yeah, that's cool. My point was, you said things about physics that are extremely stupid. A guy with no formal education in physics knew that what you said was stupid. So that's kind of suspicious.
Oh, sure. So you're telling me that a guy who's read about, I don't know, half as many books on physics as me is going to point out something and you're just going to lap it up because he's on your side?
I have no idea what that statement meant. So what I'm talking about is when you said that nothing can occupy the space of a hydrogen atom, and fusion proves that that's not true.
Fusion doesn't occupy its space. Fusion fuses two molecules.
Because that's 2 + 2 equaling a new thing. That doesn't count.
Dude. When you fuse,
what happens.
And the whole reason I'm using this 3-dimensional structure is to show that numerical data can't be used to define distances on a scale like the universe. You can use
what kind of data do we use?
Physical data, not numerical data.
Give me an example of non-numerical physical data.
Okay, so you're going to talk about the amount of molecules in between two things. Molecules don't change. A hydrogen molecule occupies a very specific amount of space, and it cannot be divided in half, because if you divide it in half...
Give me non-numerical physical data.
Okay, I know what you're going to say. When I say a billion hydrogen molecules, that's different than a billion units. I know, and I know that's what you're going to say. I'm saying, I can't believe I can't get this through you. There's a difference between saying a billion inches and a billion hydrogen molecules as far as distance is created.
You're giving me quantitative data claiming that it's non-numerical. This is just hilarious.
Yes, I know, dude. It's so funny. You know, I'm sorry that you're not understanding this very basic.
I only have 2 degrees and not 12.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the reason.
I mean, look, it's...
Could you just give me another example of non-numerical physical data?
You obviously do not have any inclination to try and attempt to grasp what I am actually talking about when I'm talking about using molecular information to quantify distance rather than using numerical information to quantify distance.
An example.
Yeah, and